Hi, today I'm going to show how to set up an automatic fetch on a schedule from an FTP server. So let's say you have somebody putting a file up on an FTP server, SFTP server, FTPS server. Maybe it's daily, or maybe the file is updated hourly or something. And you just need to pull that file on a schedule, parse the data, maybe clean the data and send it somewhere else. Maybe you're getting leads and then you need to send that into Google Sheets, or you're getting email address you need to send to MailChimp. Maybe you're getting stock quantity or price info and you need to update your Shopify store. Whatever it is, this video is going to show you how to pull that file on a schedule and then parse the data and clean the data, and then you can choose where to send it in the end. Okay, so you're going to log into EasyCSV. You're going to start creating a new import page and flow here. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the FTP server and download the latest file. And you'll see I'm going to try to get this right way clean 011C file. And I've downloaded that locally, so then I can just select it or drag it over here. And it's going to start setting up the import page and automated flow for me. If you see this field, you can name it, you can rename it later. And these are all the columns from the file. The file needs a first row header. If the header's not in the first row, there's a setting to say what row it's in, but what you'll want to do is take that file you downloaded and delete all the rows except for that header row, and then you can drag the file here and it'll show the header row options. These columns are the only ones EasyCSV will pull, so if I don't want EasyCSV to pull datetime because I don't need it, I can uncheck it. But we will only pull the columns you've told us about, and they need to exact match. So if these columns ever change in the future, you might need to come in here and either add a new column if they add one, or if consultant ever gets a lowercase c, you can change that in EasyCSV. So click next, and then we're going to choose where to send the file. In this case, I'm just going to email myself a version of the file. I like to do that just to test so I can see that it's pulled down correctly. You can select Google Sheets or Shopify, whatever you want. You can also select email now and then email yourself the file and then later change it to Shopify or Google Sheets or whatever. If you're going to Google Sheets, just do it. If you're going to Shopify, sometimes I like to look at the data on there. Or, you can just map to Shopify. Just go for it. So I can click email myself a new file. I'm going to put in my email for that destination of sending me a version of the file. Save that. Cool. And so this page, I could drag the file in, from my computer, drag the file over here, and it would email me the exact same file. It'll parse the file actually, and then email me a version. But in reality, we want to get the file from the FTP server. I don't want to drag it here. I want to automate it. A lot of people also email files as attachments to EasyCSV, and we grab that. You get a custom email address here. So if it's easier to have someone email you a file daily as an attachment, that's also an option here. Okay, so let's click. You can click Scheduled Fetcher, or you can go to Import Flow and go here to Turn On. And you can set the schedule. So let's say every 24 hours I want to look for a new file. You can say what time you want it, what your time zone is, and you'll click FTP SFTP. You'll put in all that info here. So I have a test server. I'm going to put the data in here. I'll just pause it for a second. So you put all that info in. Then you're going to say where the file lives. If it's at the root, you can just put /. If it's in a folder structure, you can say what folder you want EasyCSV to navigate into. I'm just going to type in right way clean 011. And that's the file name to fetch. It is greedy. So if let's say that every day there's a new file that comes in, that's like the date, right? Let's say it's today's date, May 29th. If you did this, every day it'll look for the May 29th file. Instead, what you could do is we have a dynamic syntax that gets set, when the fetcher runs. And you can click that here, and you can see all the syntax we support. You can do previous day, unique IDs, whatever you want. So what this will do is every 24 hours, it's going to go look for a new file, and it'll replace the year, month, and day with today's month, day, and year. Okay, so it'll just grab that file. That's a relatively safe way to do it. I would recommend if you're going to do that, I would just do year, because let's say on Friday, whatever's producing the file breaks and they fix it on Monday. Maybe on Monday they drop the Friday, Saturday, Sunday file. So you want to get those. And so this will look for any, file name that goes to 2023, and it'll get, the 29th, it'll get the 30th, it'll get the 31st, because it's greedy. It's just looking for anything that starts with this. That's a new file. Okay, I'm just going to look for an exact match though. Cool. And then if you need static IP addresses, you can use that. By default, we don't use it. Most servers don't need that. But if you do, you can grab these and list them on your FTP server. Click Test Connection. This just checks if you can connect with these credentials. It doesn't check if the file exists. So if you get an error here, save at the bottom here and just reach out to EasyCSV support. We troubleshoot troublesome FTP servers all the time. So just let us know, but we can't troubleshoot unless we have the FTP info in EasyCSV. So do that, reach out via chat or email and give us some time and we'll help troubleshoot whatever the issue is. If the file name is the same every day, you could use this option to always, you can fetch the same file name more than once. So like today it's called report and tomorrow it's called report and the next day it's called report. You want the same file name fetched. But if the file name changes like every day, this file has the date, month, and year, and you only want to import today's file once, you can say only fetch a file name once ever. And that way, we'll only get the file the first time we see it. So if you use this in conjunction with, something like the year, that's a really safe way to make sure you only get the file once. Cool. So we're going to save this. I'm gonna say we can fetch it more than once just for this. Cool. And then you get a page that's basically a log of the fetch. So does it get the file? Did it miss the file? Was there an error getting the file? You'll get info about that. By default, this is on. So it is going to fetch every 24 hours at 10 a.m. You can click Edit Quick and go down to the bottom and turn it off. I would recommend that if you're like going straight to Shopify or something just to test. And you can click Force Fetch to test. So when you click Force Fetch, it queues it up. So give it a second. You can just refresh this page. You see it's not there yet. So what just happened? So if I refresh here, you see that it was triggered by force. It'll say scheduled here if it was the scheduled. It'll say what file it got. It'll say if it was successfully fetched or not. And so in this case, it was fetched. And this is the fetch log. So if you go back to the import page then, on the bottom is the parsing and the sending of the data log. So you see here, the file was fetched and sent it to the import flow, and it then created a new email. And that's what this email is. It's just in my browser. And you'll see that the file is attached. This data would instead go to Google Sheets or to Shopify, but you see that there's the data from the file. And that's it. So if you go back in the import flow, this top area, this is the scheduled fetcher. You can also get it from here. The import flow also, watch our other videos and stuff to see how you can filter out bad data or massage data if you need to clean some data or make new fields. And then the bottom is the destination. So if after you do your email testing, you can change it to go to Zapier or Google Sheets or to any webhook or API or to Shopify or anything else we support. And then you'll map the CSV columns to the Shopify fields, or the CSV columns to the MailChimp fields, or the CSV columns to whatever app you're going to, their fields. Cool. So if you need any help with a scheduled fetcher that grabs files from FTP, just reach out to support. We're happy to troubleshoot. Sometimes the file you get also is tricky. Maybe it's got bad quotes in it or it's got bad data in it. We can also help you troubleshoot that. Okay, reach out if you need any help.